Sad Dynasty, the first glimmer of Chinese civilization. In ancient times, numerous tribes coexisted in the Central Plains. They would elect a common leader. Around 12029 BC, Shun assumed the role of leader. Later, an unprecedented flood devastated the Central Plains. Crops were submerged, houses were swept away, and people were forced to flee. Thus, Shun appointed a man named Yu to control the floodwaters. Yu, a man of great wisdom, understood that floodwaters must be channeled, not blocked. Instead of merely raising the levees, he dredged the river channels to guide the floodwaters to the sea. He was so dedicated to his task that night, he passed by his home 3 times without entering. After 13 years, he finally quelled the flood for the people. They revered him as Dai, meaning the Great Yu. Due to Yu's competence and high popularity, Shun decided to pass the leadership to Yu after his death. This was a normal practice, as the earliest form of governance was the abdication system. Since Yu's tribe was called Xia, when Yu became the leader, the state's name was officially changed to Xia. Around 2070 BC, Yu ended the tribal alliance and transformed it into a state, establishing China's first dynasty, the Sad Dynasty. While controlling the floodwaters, Yu traveled across the land, observing geography, customs, products, and the people's conditions. Based on the nation's topography, he divided the country into 9 regions, known as the 9 provinces. Previously, tribal alliances were partnerships. As a state, tribes were unified under the 9 provinces, each required to pay tribute to Yu, establishing a hierarchical relationship. This was the 9 provinces tribute system, which planned the nation's administrative divisions and taxation system. He established the 9 tripod cauldrons as a symbol of the state's unity. Thus, Chinese history entered the era of dynasties. Yu, the creator of this era, reached the pinnacle of his career and prepared to ascend further, and then he ascended to heaven. Yu's son Qi inherited his father's legacy, initiating China's history of family rule. However, some tribes adhered to tradition, hoping to continue the abdication system, thus opposing Qi's leadership. Without hesitation, Qi led his troops to battle, claiming to execute the will of heaven. The 2 sides clashed in what is now Shaanxi, with Qi emerging victorious. As China's first dynasty, the Sad Dynasty's territory was actually quite small. Further east, there were 9 hostile tribes, collectively known as the Eastern Barbarians or the 9 Barbarians, making the situation less than optimistic. He was wise, and Qi was not bad either. But the grandson Taikang was more fond of play. He hardly attended to official duties, always busy hunting. Then, during a joyful hunting trip, Taikang was captured by the Eastern Barbarians, bidding farewell to his throne. This is known in history as the loss of the state by Taikang. The subsequent monarchs, Zhongkang and Xiang, were puppets supported by the Eastern Barbarians. Xiang had some backbone and did not want to be manipulated all the time, so he found an opportunity to escape. The Eastern Barbarians immediately pursued and killed Xiang's entire family. Fortunately, the posthumous child was quite capable. His name was Shao Kahn. Under his mother's education, Shao Kahn always remembered the shame of crawling through the dog hole. Accumulating strength, he launched a counterattack, drove out the Eastern Barbarians, and reclaimed the throne. during the reigns of Shao Kahn and his son. The territory expanded significantly, reaching the eastern coast. The resurgence of Shao Kahn. Until 1880 BC, when Kongjia ascended the throne, breaking the peace. Kongjia indulged in singing, dancing, and wine, ignoring the people's hardships. It is said he also loved raising dragons. Not real dragons, but possibly crocodiles, as later analysis suggested. Kongjia reigned for 31 years, during which he had gradually lost the people's hearts. The last monarch, Shajie, waged wars everywhere. He spent his days frolicking with beauties, indulging in luxury, and neglecting state affairs. It is said the wine pool he built was large enough to row a boat in. He also said, "I am like the sun in the sky. As long as the sun does not die, I will not die." So the people simply pointed at the sun and cursed, wishing the sun and Shajie to perish together. Meanwhile, the Shang tribe, originating from the eastern barbarians, under the leadership of Tang, won over hearts everywhere, seeking alliances with other tribes. In 11 consecutive battles, Xia suffered repeated defeats. In 1600 BC, the two sides met in a final decisive battle, where Shajie, leading his troops personally, was utterly defeated. Thus, the Xia dynasty perished. As China's first dynasty, Xia's territory was not the largest, nor was its national power the strongest. But its significance lies in setting up a stage called Dynasty.